and welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to create a pattern from a garment that you already own, something you already know you love, and you want to recreate it. You want it in all the colors and all the styles. Let's do that right now. Okay, so what's going on here is my little guy is, let's just say he's not the slimmest 1-year-old, and we have trouble with pajamas for him. Not only is he on the burlier side, but we also use cloth diapers. At night we have a big bulky diaper on him. So guess what happens? A lot of them pajamas don't fit right, and don't look comfortable on him, and they always ride up in the tummy. So we do have one pair that we actually really like, and my husband has requested that I make more like this. So I thought I'd bring you along and show you how we're gonna do that. So the first thing you wanna do is you wanna lay it out, and this is the front side. I'm gonna do front first, and I'm gonna make, it's gonna be a 4-piece leg, 4-piece pant pattern for the legs, and instead of, you know, a front and a back or the 2 separate legs, I'm going to do a seam down the side. What that means is I'm going to do one leg, and then the other front leg will just be mirrored to that. So I only need to do one of those, and then the back I will do the same. But the back obviously has to be different to accommodate for the bum, and the bum is usually bigger, especially for us using cloth diapers and a bulky cloth diaper at night. So what you want to be careful of is on the front is actually, like I said, is smaller, and so if you were to just lay it out like this, it would be halfway. But see, if you can see this seam here, that the seam here is actually from the back. So I definitely don't want to be incorporating the back leg onto the front leg. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up so that so that I'm on that seam. And then on this pattern there is a side strip. I'm not going to do the side strip. I just have to make sure I'm halfway on the strip because it is exactly centered on the leg. Fold it in half, bring it down so I'm exactly at the halfway point on the hip, the out seam, and the inseam I am on that seam. So now I'm just going to trace around the outer leg, and I'm gonna leave the elastic off of my tracing. Just gonna leave a mark like that because obviously the elastic is a separate piece. So now I'm just gonna trace around, and don't worry about getting too tight. You want to be as close as you can, but you also don't want to mark on your clothes. The cuff I'm gonna leave off because that's a separate piece again. So now, how do you mark the parts that are under the clothing? Well, I'm just gonna put a mark here, and I'm gonna put a mark about the same spot there. And then as far as if it has a waistband, I'm just going to fold back the waistband like this, and then that's my mark. So there, that's my front pant leg as it sits. But remember, we need to add our seam allowance, right? Because if I made it this way, it would just be too small on my little guy. So now I'm going to use a 1/4-inch seam. So I'm going to go all the way around wherever there's going to be a seam and make 1/4-inch marks. Just connect these. I'm going to tackle the waistband and the cuff. So the cuff, as you can see, is a separate piece, so it's also going to have the 1/4-inch, and the waistband as well, 1/4-inch. And then as for the cuff, I mean, you can do whatever you want here. Again, we really like this pattern, so I'm just gonna make it the same. So I've got about 3/4 of an inch here, and I'm gonna double that to 1.5. And then, because I'm gonna be folding the cuff over. And then I wanna add my 1/4-inch seam allowance on there, but I need to add it to both sides, so it's actually 1/2 inch. So I need a 2-inch cuff. And I want it to be 2 inches by 3.5 times 2 is 7, plus my 1/2 inch for my seam, 7.5. So that's my cuff. My waistband elastic, I want that to be 16.5. Now we're gonna move on to the back. Now, alternatively, you could fold your pants in half like this, and then you might get a better shape. So let's try it that way. Again, making sure that that outseam is in fact even. Now you'll notice my bum is longer than what this was. So I need to definitely make sure I'm doing a back piece instead of just two of the same front pieces. If this was something that you really, you know, didn't care about, maybe it got ruined or something, just take it apart and definitely just trace it that way. Now I'm going to show you how to do a top. Obviously there's going to be different pieces. There's front, arms, and the back is going to be a little different because it's going to come up higher in the back. If you've ever done a raglan or just any shirt, you know that the back is always a little bit higher. And this one has a hem, so I'll be able to show you that as well. So now I'm just gonna do So now I traced the neckband, but because it's a 1/2 inch neckband and I need a 1/4 inch of seam allowance anyway, I'm just gonna come down a 1/4 inch from that. So here I'm actually doing the seam allowance and the tracing all in the same step. Okay, and then the hem, I'm gonna do 1 inch for the hem because I like to fold up 1/2 inch and then 1/2 inch again. So I'm just gonna come down 1 inch from my mark. And then going around and doing my seam allowance on the sides and the raglan top. So for the back, I'm going to do it on the fold so that I can show you guys how you would do something like that. And honestly, the front one that we did, I'm going to cut it in half and do it on the fold so that it's symmetrical. You're not going to add to the back. So now the sleeve is a little bit trickier. So what you want to do is you want to fold it right in half. Now do the back half, and I want it to be, so you want to mark the front, and then I want the back to match up to this. Now I'm going to go and add seam allowance around the whole side. I'm going to measure and do the sleeve cuff the same way we did the leg cuff. Now I'm going to go and cut everything out and make my pattern. If you want to see that, go over and follow me on Instagram. I will have a post up there when it's all done.